Hi everyone, welcome back to True Astrology. My name is Nicole,
And I'm Dave.
and Dave recently finished the major arcana related to astrology. So if you haven't watched the video, please go ahead and watch. And then today we're going to talk about the Taurus and the Scorpio, which is the money axis.
That's right.
In astrology, we have a six axis, and previous video we were talking about Aries and the Libra, which was a relationship axis.
And now we're going to be covering the next axes, which is Taurus and Scorpio.
So this axis is all about the money and then how we make a money, as well as many more things. And let's dive into this information. In tarot, Taurus is represented the number 5 card, the Hierophant. And then the 8th house, which is a Scorpio house, is represented by the Death card. Again, if you want to know more information about each card, I highly recommend you to go into each video that they've recently uploaded. So let's talk about the Hierophant just quickly. So when you actually see Hierophant card and there's a figure sitting in the middle and holding some kind of wand in the other hand, and there's two people literally kneeling down looking at the person. When you see this card, what's your first impression?
They're there to learn something.
So the figure in the middle is guiding the students.
That's right.
So in astrology, Taurus actually holds that kind of energy as well. It brings the guidance and it carries the tradition and wisdom and mentorship and thing that we used to carry from our genetic makeup.
Yeah. And it also rules our value system as well as our throat chakra.
So basically, Taurus rules our, 5 senses, our chakra system, and our physical body, as well as our DNA system. Something you got from your family, like
Yeah.
something you carry as a custom from your ancestor. It actually is from the opposite sign Scorpio. It's interesting, right? Because our physical body, physical genetic makeup, DNA, and custom, why this is from the other side? Because of Scorpio, it's all about the past life or ancestry, underground, and conception. Anything happen in the bedroom, birth, and passing down to next generation, right? In terms of money, because we are talking about the money axis, Taurus is about something that you work physically and earn that money, and Scorpio is about the money you actually got from getting from your parents or ancestry, passing down from your, I guess, family lineage or something like that.
Or leveraged resources, right? Leveraged money.
We're gonna talk about that concept a little bit more, but back to the physical body. So simply put, someone in the family, like your grandmother, great-great-grandparent. So whatever happened in the bedroom, conceived the baby, passing down that genetic makeup, put that into the physical form, and that is holding in this house of the Taurus. That's why, we look like how we look like. We look like our parents. We have a same custom from our family member or even country we are living in. And what else is important?
Taurus rules all the 5 senses, and it's also ruled by Venus, right? So we covered Venus a little bit in the previous video.
Oh yeah, so because of it ruled by Venus, a lot of Taurus sun moon rising people are so beautiful because the Venus brings a love and harmony, nurturing, natural beauty.
Yeah.
So they have a really strong, physical, glowing energy of the beauty, right? So the Taurus rising people have that, and also Taurus rules throat chakra as well. So a lot of people who has the negative aspects in the Taurus and bad, I guess, placement or aspects there has a throat issue as well. We actually have a client has the throat surgery due to placement of the Chiron. And at the moment, Chiron is in Aries, but the Chiron will move into sign of Taurus in a couple of years. So we're going to see that the trauma star Chiron will impact in the sign of Taurus as well. So during that time, maybe we're going to expect some kind of physical damage or DNA damage to people due to maybe chemical or some kind of like a gene therapy that people didn't know, people didn't really research about it, but we like accidentally kind of like accepted into our body so that we realize it now, something like that. And Taurus also rules 9 to 5 job because Taurus, when you think about it, cows, they're working all the time. So like people who has a strong Taurian energy, they're the one who work. They're working consistently. Once they have a full-time job, they're working.
Yeah, and they're the type that would work at that job for 30 years.
And once they made a decision, they don't want to change.
Yeah.
Because Taurus is one of the fixed signs, so they don't want to change anything unless like huge accident or event happen in their life.
Yeah, and fixed signs, their energy is to maintain the status quo. So unless there is some sort of outside intervention, they just keep continuing along the path because they like predictability, right? So not only does this apply to Taurus, but all the fixed signs, right? So Taurus, Scorpio, as well as Leo and Aquarius.
And in the Taurus constellation, the Pleiades are located near there. And also we have Aldebaran is there too. So interesting about the Aldebaran is actually the depiction of fighting with the Orion constellation. So Orion is holding some kind of like a bat and they try to fight with a bull. So that is the image. Maybe you can research about it. So that's why Taurus has a little bit of a fighting energy as well as the other sign Scorpio. So Taurian energy to fight is just literally fight, like a bull fight. But Scorpio way of the fighting is revenge.
Yeah, it's more psychological.
And then behind the scene.
Yeah.
And we have a famous fixed star in Taurus named Algol.
Yeah, it's the Medusa archetype.
And it's located in the later degree in Taurus. And when that star activates, and that star literally cuts off things. It can be, let's say, a person, relationship, or a job, anything like bad karma. It's really interesting that Medusa's head energy is located in sign of a Taurus because Taurus doesn't change. Taurus need a really strong energy to cut off or change and turn around, right? So like maybe if you guys have a strong Taurian energy or you're fixed in some way but try to change and move things around, maybe look for the sign Algo and might activate your chart. And back to the tarot card. So let's talk about the Hierophant card itself a little bit more.
Some keywords with the Hierophant card is guidance, tradition, wisdom, mentorship, and education.
Because card itself has the mentor is trying to teaching to students, right? So easy to understand. And the figure in the middle is carrying all the genetic makeup, family tradition, all the rules and laws that we have in the country we are living in or family we born into. So in the tarot reading, when you get the Hierophant card, and you might seek spiritual guidance or you might want someone's help.
If something is negatively aspected, then some negative keywords related to the Hierophant is dogmatism, conformity, rigidity, intolerance, and skepticism.
So can you elaborate this a little bit more?
So basically, it's resistance to change, even though it's not good for you, and having a negative vibration in that process.
And also, even if you're born into a specific family that always follows one rule, one belief system, it doesn't mean you have to live like that. Because when you actually see the card, has a key crossed in the bottom of the card, it means if you want to change, get out of the rigidity or that fixity, you have to look. You have to look for the key. You have to look for the knowledge because of the Hierophant card also has the knowledge component in it. So when you look for the knowledge, you can find the key to unlock your freedom. And to looking for the information or the knowledge is you have to have a student mind, less of the ego, and where you find it is the opposite sign, Scorpio, because a Scorpio is the sign able to go into the really deep psychology. So when you go deep, you find more information. You can able to pinpoint or like connect the dots. And also, if you are dealing with someone in the family or in the country you are living in as a leader who is a very strong Hierophant, is becoming more like a very, very strong person. I'm the law. You have to follow me what I have to say. This is not allowed. You cannot do this. Then you have to also use the opposite sign's energy, which is a Scorpio, to go into the psychological transformation. And also, if you don't have anything in Taurus or in your second house, that means you might not really comfortable working every day. Because Taurus is the sign work, right? 9 to 5 or physical hard work or like going outside doing some field work. That's all about the Taurian energy work. But if you don't have anything there, yeah, you might have a hard time to lay down the fixity on the workforce. But if you don't have anything, but let's say you are like Taurus heavy person, you have a sun, moon, and all the personal planet like concentrated in there, you have a nothing in Scorpio. What does that mean then?
You're very practical, very hardworking, can be very stubborn and rigid, but also resistance to change and seeking comfort and even indulgence, right? Because Venus loves to indulge in the five senses. So going to the spa, being foodie, eating, overeating, getting lazy. So when Taurus doesn't want change, it just maintains the same routine.
And basically people who has like full-time job, working for the long-term saving and paycheck going into the savings account or 401k or long-term, I guess, benefits and nothing else. And then they are usually really good at it though. So when things are reversed, let's say there's a Scorpio heavy people and there's nothing in the second house or Taurus, then those people need to work
with leverage.
Yeah, differently.
Yeah.
Okay, so Scorpionic way of making money is leveraged money or inheritance money
Or investment money, investment banking.
or hidden money.
Yeah.
Or like getting insurance money and then you can start the business. But like it's not you getting a job after you receive the money. It's more like someone who, let's say, received insurance money and then decided to open up the restaurant. But that person is not actually cooking or like working at the restaurant. Hire other people, like a famous chef and manager and accountant to working for the business. And the person is behind the scene.
Yeah, more as an investor, right? So investing in the restaurant and then hiring the Tauruses to work in the restaurant.
If you have way too much Scorpio energy, but you don't have a money, because like a lot of people say that like, oh yeah, Nico, you're saying that like a Scorpionic energy is inheritance money, large amount of money, or getting government money, but I don't have any. I'm just having 9 to 5 and I'm just working. Nothing is happening. Yeah, you might see that way, but when the proper activation happens, then it will put you in that like Scorpionic way of the receiving money. Like for example, I have a client. She was like basically 9 to 5, but soon as her eighth house activates, and her chart is really interesting. So her eighth house and then her kind of 11 to 10th house in between, she has a planet there and then directly linked into her second house. So every time she has some kind of transit, let's say she got injured, so that she was like almost forcefully stayed at home but her job is fully paying her recovery and pay full salary and everything. And she doesn't work and she just stay home and recovery. And it actually happened 2, 3 times already. It's keep happening, even though she want to go back to work and she got pregnant and then it's like her third baby. Is she planned her baby? She's really happy with it, but sometimes like the situation, sometimes the accident, sometimes the strike going on in her workplace, or sometimes a pandemic, whatever the case is, a lot of times it's just like the event is happening. You know what I mean? But before her activation, she was working 9 to 5, full time, working very, very hard. But just like if you don't have anything happened yet, Scorpionic way to receiving money, just wait until the activation happened. Let's actually talk about Scorpio a little bit more. In tarot card, it's number 13 card, Death. This is really, really like Scorpionic energy. Just looking at the card, you can feel the Scorpio energy.
The intensity. Yeah. So this is a very misinterpreted card because even the first time I saw this card, it actually brought some negative vibrations because I just didn't know how to interpret it. And then upon learning and digging deeper about this archetype, I realized the key word to the death card is about transformation. Because energy truly never dies, right? Energy is always transformed, transmuted, and it's constantly evolving into a different form.
Yeah, because of this death energy carries that rebirth energy, liberation energy. Because I was talking about earlier, Scorpio is the place that you found the deep information that will really heal you or free you. And I have a client that was born in very courtish family and was living in the life with everything was filtered through from her believing system, what her religion or her parents told her to be living in. And then once she's questioning everything about it, and then she was like able to see the world more bigger. And it was very painful because she told me she felt cheated. And she was like almost like locked in her life. She didn't know many things. It was a sad anger at the one point, but once she really freed herself, it really liberated her. And she was able to forgive the family trauma or her childhood, and everything happened to her, right? So that's the power this 8th house of Scorpio carries.
That's right. And to help paint this picture a little bit more clearer, think of Taurus as green pasture and fields, whereas Scorpio is like a deep, deep, frozen, dark, cold lake. Imagine trying to navigate through that. That's why Scorpio, the archetype and the death card, is associated with digging deep, going down to the bottom of that deep frozen lake. Often it's very traumatic, but there's a sense of healing, right? If you can return from that journey, there's this liberation. So this rebirth, this resurrection. And so, yes, this Scorpio intense energy is not for everyone, but there are some people or some energy that have signed up for that transformation in this lifetime.
And in terms of the money, this is a lot to do with the co-ruling planet Pluto. Because in astrology, Pluto generates the most amount of money in terms of planets. Because imagine there's like untouched land. There's so many rocks in the soil. There's so much unusable things all like mixed in the land. But when the Pluto, imagine the Pluto as the commercial level machinery comes in the land and literally like
Excavates.
yeah, cleans up everything and pick up all the dirt and rocks and organize it. Then you plant something. And imagine like how much crop you can yield in that land. But before, because it was unusable land, but the Pluto literally like breaking everything and rebuild there, and then you can generate more money.
And we've mentioned many times before that Pluto does rule the generations. So when Pluto changes signs, it really changes how the collective energy makes money, right, and goes through this transformative process. So when Pluto was in Sagittarius, the way the world transformed and made money was through e-commerce, was through foreigners,
And
through foreign travel,
also,
through higher education.
yeah,
When
because
it
a
went,
lot of international students poured into the like a famous university, and
yeah.
those people paid like crazy amount of tuition fee, so like they made a lot of money.
Yeah. And then when Pluto progressed into Capricorn, all the generational wealth went into the corporations. They grew so strong since 2008 until 2023. And just recently, Pluto ingressed into Aquarius, and all that generational wealth will be transformed through the Aquarius archetype. So I'm really excited that in the next 20 years or so, Pluto will be innovating and excavating through this sign of Aquarius. So what does that mean? That means technology, innovation, AI, blockchain. And we're already starting to see the seeds of this energy planted since last year. And it's just only going to develop further. Just being aware of this, and whether it's intuitive or just by seeing what's going on in the world, you can quickly adapt to the changes of society.
And people who has a strong scorpionic energy, and those peoples are like detective basically, because it rules underground, all things hidden, including occult, hidden knowledges,
Astrology.
secret, or like a hidden society and things like that. Even like illegal stuff that we don't normally find. And those peoples are like, yeah, they know they have ability to find a lot of those information. If people don't have anything in Scorpio, try to do some kind of occult related thing, it might challenges them. But again, the Scorpio energy is helping people able to go deep. If you don't have anything, maybe use the transit that will help you to find the information that help you to heal or free. And also want to mention that Scorpio is the place that we hold all the trauma, including this life's trauma and past life trauma, as well as the family lineage trauma as well. Scorpio has the energy about the constipated energy, I would say, because Scorpio is all about the revenge sign and kind of controlling sign, meaning that energy doesn't want to let go. Why you want to control? Why you don't want to forgive and move on? Why you're holding on the energy and revenge that person? Because you're really holding on that anger, right? So if you have that issue, maybe you have a lot of scorpionic energy, but the best way to work with healing is, yeah, find the information. Again, the other sign, Taurus, the Hierophant, give you clue to find the key. How? Going to the Scorpio, go within, go really deep. And maybe it's hurting the first, but at the end, it really help you to free. At the same time, we just had like a North Node in Taurus and South Node Scorpio transit, right? So that is the actually best time to Scorpio to heal all the trauma, including past life, family trauma, anything trauma related. During this time, you don't have to work hard because a South Node energy releasing out that whatever it touches, literally like dissolving that energy really easily and quickly. So I'm sure a lot of people got miraculous like event happened during that time and moved on from whatever holding them for the long time. Do you remember anything particular during the South Node in Scorpio transit?
Well, remember we mentioned that Taurus and Scorpio axis likes to hold on to things way past its expiry date. Well, that was a time where all that built up trauma for the past 18 and a half years was released,
Yeah, but do you
right?
remember anything particular to you, or you see something interesting thing going on in the world?
Well, I think the planetary energy was focused more on the Taurus side. So what I do remember is the prepper energy was very strong. And so it was like the Scorpio side would have been like disaster, catastrophe. And then the Taurus side would be like, well, I'm going to prep. I'm going to prep food. I'm going to put it into storage. So all of the comforts of the five senses, people were focusing their energies on that, right? So accumulating resources just in case something traumatic happened, right? So I felt like, the trucker convoy was also something that happened in January of 2022. And so again, the overall theme is that people were using their throat chakra and they were voicing their opinion on what they valued and their beliefs. So again, that's a very Taurus theme. And then a lot of the Scorpio side was weakened, right? So it gave people an opportunity to release the trauma side that they've been holding on.
Yeah. So share with me if any of you guys have a healing moment or the EG transformation moment happened during this South Node in Scorpio. Because of this was a really, really harmonizing time for Scorpio that Scorpio doesn't have to be resistant. And I believe that a lot of people actually received their inheritance money during that time.
Yeah, because all of that built up money and resources had to be released. Yeah.
Because just quickly talk about the South Node. We know like a North Node strengthened the sign, but South Node weakened that sign and releasing out that whatever holding that area it touches. Sometimes that South Node is very, very critical. Let's say people who had let's say Saturn in the midheaven, they didn't know what to do. They don't know what they want to do in their life. But the South Node transiting is releasing out their true potential of their midheaven. Like it literally giving it to you. You know what I mean? So that's why, South Node transition is really exciting for many people as well.
So wherever the North Node and South Node transits in your chart is the area that gets activated, but on a karmic level. So even if you deviate from your path, those nodes ensures that you get back onto that karmic path.
And another thing I want to mention about Taurus and Scorpio axis is a continuation energy about the Venus and Mars. Because of the ruler of the Taurus is a Venus and the ruler of Scorpio is co-ruled by Mars and Pluto. Pluto is in the picture, but however, in traditional astrology, it only sees the 7 planets, and the Mars is the ruler of the Scorpio. But when we change the sign, first to 7, to second to 8th, the ruler is kind of reversed, right? First, Aries ruled by Mars, but Taurus is ruled by Venus. And then now the Mars goes into the other side, which is Scorpio, but previously Venus is sitting on the Libra side, if that makes sense. What I want to talk about here is first and the second house is the continuation of the Venus and Mars energy. So relationship axis or the money axis, we have to learn how to work with the Venus and the Mars.
And we also have a special announcement. We just finished our 2025 Astro Journal. We launched it on January 1st.
And it's available on Amazon.
That's right. So it's called the Astro Journal and Planner. And the link will be in the description below.
Actually, astrology journal is the best way you can work with the second house and the eighth house axis because journaling you have to do every day. So like kind of Taurian energy, right? So all the astrology hidden information you will able to find will be recorded in that journal and then you can connect the dot in the future.
Yeah, it really helps us to stay focused and to keep a track record of all the things that we were doing and to recognize the patterns as well.
And join us our next video. We're going to talk about the Gemini and Sagittarius axis, which is the
communication axis.
Exactly.
Until then, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. And thank you for watching.
And bye for now.